Peace to the family. Look, man, we're going to check out this video. Look, we get into the latest and the greatest, man. It's your boy Rico Savvy. Look, we're going to tap in. What's going on with Nicki Minaj, man? Nicki Minaj has really been tripping out here lately, man. Crashing out on the industry. Her and Dez Bryant having a beef for some reason. She claims that Sizla, Jay-Z, and the Roc Nation is in her business and things like that, man. But we're going to tap into it, man, on academics. Shout out to academics, man. Fair use, y'all.
Dez Bryant, Jerry Jones. Now, Jerry Jones is the owner. He's the old white owner for the Cowboys. Dez Bryant, who was a receiver, apparently, and you know, I'm gonna try to break this down. Apparently, it says, all right, hold on. The recent blah, blah, including a gratuitous slap at former Cowboys receiver and the agent Jay-Z. So Jerry Jones said something about negotiations with a linebacker, and it was a linebacker named Micah Parsons. But while he was talking about that, he mentioned former Cowboys receiver Dez Bryant and their agent. Let's see if we could figure out what is that.
Confirmed a lot of the things that I said last night in Canton when Maria Taylor and I were talking about the Parsons situation last night.
Oh,
that they're going to trade him. I've heard they show that they're willing.
So it looks like the Cowboys owner is talking about a current player, but then he threw Dez Bryant name in the mix. This is what he said. He says, when we have a problem with the player, the agent's usually nowhere to be found. He says, Jay-Z told us Dez Bryant would make all the meetings. Jay-Z and I negotiated the contract. We spent hours. He said, anybody in my organization is always on time. He said, my office used to be on the street corner. I've always been early. So will my players, because remember, if you don't know, they had Roc Nation Sports at that time. He says, will my players be on time? He's talking about the players they represent with Roc Nation Sports. He says, my office used to be on the street corner. I've always been early. So will my players be on time? He said, and what did I say? I said, I'm going to call you when I have a problem. So it looked like Jerry Jones says they negotiate a contract for Dez Bryant. The owner of the team who's negotiating with the agent of the player, Dez Bryant, they're negotiating with Jay-Z's Roc Nation Sports. Jay-Z supposedly himself negotiates with Jerry Jones, the owner. Jay-Z sells him on this idea. Yo, I'm from the streets. Yo, I hold people accountable. People respect me. Yo, my office used to be on the street corner. So blah, 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 blah. Got you. Now, the owner said, Jerry Jones, he said, yo, when I had a problem, Jay-Z didn't take my call anymore. So he's basically saying, and I think his thing is that he doesn't like, agents. So Dez Bryant responded because, they're talking about a current player, but they reference him. And he responded by saying this. He says, Jerry Jones, I don't think it's smart to mention my name. This is what he said. I kept quiet about a lot of unfair shit on some G shit. Now, this is where Nicki Minaj entered the conversation because she had said, because, again, she's championing anybody who's going to speak bad about Jay-Z or Roc Nation because she doesn't fuck with Jay-Z or Roc Nation. She had said before, I hope Jerry Jones is having a great day. Then she at Dez Bryant and she said, hey, it's Nicki Minaj. How about we play a game? Every time you do a Jerry Jones or NFL story time, how about I do a story time of my own? Now, what she's going to talk about is she's assumed or alluding to, I'll do a story time about Jay-Z and I'll do a story time about Roc Nation. Now, what y'all don't know is that Dez Bryant, obviously, he was managed by Roc Nation Sports, but Jay-Z is a close friend of his. Okay? Dez Bryant responded with a looking eye emoji, and then Nicki said, all my stories will be about Roc Nation, Jay-Z, and the alleged racist Desiree Perez, the CEO. I hope you fully understand the rules. It is your turn. Okay. Now, that kind of went for a little bit of a loop because now if we go to Dez Bryant's page and we got to kind of try to follow this whole thing, Dez Bryant, and by the way, I like both of these people because they're like.
So yeah, man, you see like what's going on with Nicki, man. It just seemed like she just seems to be crashing out with the whole Roc Nation and Dez Bryant and Jay-Z. And Jay-Z seemed to be pulling a lot of the shots. People have accused them of trying to blackball them from the industry and, shorten their lifespan of their careers, stifle their spins and try to just sabotage their career and everything they put in. But y'all, this right here, obviously Nicki, it just seems like she's been having a lot of problems with a lot of FBAs. A lot of people have been saying like, "Yo, where are these tethers coming from?" Where all of a sudden they come over here and get their career started and think they can just point fingers and complain and take shots. Where was all of this in your homeland? You didn't get it popping there. You came over here to get it popping. And it just seemed like she just kind of got a vendetta, some type of envy there because she's not an FBA. And we have the sauce and Sizla right now. She's popping right now. She's got Kendrick. They're on tour right now, doing their thing, making history, doing iconic things, making classics for the culture. Nicki can't relate to that. Nicki doesn't have that lineage. And maybe it's some bitterness there. Her career hasn't really been popping like it once was when she was with Young Money. But let's get back into it, man. But Jay-Z seems to ruffles a lot of people's feathers just because of the level of power. And you never know what's going on behind the scenes, man. Let's go into it.
I don't delete tweets. I don't, leave the tweets up there, man. Some people will delete all traces. So let's get into it. So, okay, here we go. So he responds by saying this.
Look, Miss Nicki, leave me out of it. I don't want no problems. I'm a huge fan. I hope you're having a great day. Look, Miss Nicki, leave me out of it. I don't want no problems.
Okay. Now he said, I'm a fan of Miss Nicki Minaj. I'm not playing no games with her or getting in her business. I've said this before. The reason why Nicki attacked SZA is because she felt SZA was getting in her business. Whatever reason, Nicki has a gripe against Roc Nation and Jay-Z, and she's definitely down to take it out publicly and say whatever she got to say, embarrass whoever she got to embarrass. Now, anybody who tries to get in between that, try to change the narrative, like, no, Jay-Z's a good guy. She's going to get at you. That's what she's been on. So some people saying, bro done combed up the beard and everything. He said, smooth. He said, I could give some wild cowboy stories. I'm thinking about Nicki Minaj. Somebody says, the bars played dangerous. The video is frying me. Okay. Then what happened was Nicki takes the first shot. Nicki says, it's Miss Petty, because he has said, hey, Miss Nicki,
leave me out of
look,
Miss Nicki.
He said Miss Nicki. So he says it's Miss Petty. And by the way, that's her husband's last name, Kenneth Petty, which is Nicki Petty. That's her full name. She's married to the guy. She said, this just came across my desk from 2020. I guess you're one of the guinea pigs they've been using to bully people for them. Did you think I came over here to play tweetsies with your silly ass, sir? See, the problem with people who are always playing is that they think everybody else is playing too. I'd mind my business if I were you. Just be blessed. And she tweets, Nicki gets blasted. Dez Bryant gets blasted by Nicki fans for jumping in beef with, I don't know who that person is. So he's basically saying, this ain't your first time jumping in my business, nigga. Okay? Cool. Now, she's kind of having a timeline wrong because technically it feels like Nicki jumped in his business because Jerry Jones was talking about a current player and mentioned Dez Bryant. And then because he mentioned Dez Bryant, he mentioned Jay-Z and Roc Nation. Nicki's is keen to anything about Roc Nation. So she tweets about Jerry Jones. Hopefully he has a good day because she wants to diss Roc Nation. But here's the thing. Roc Nation was only brought up because of Dez Bryant. That's why Dez Bryant then responds to her. I hope you understood that. So it's not like he just jumped out of the blue. Anyway, let's see what Dez Bryant said. Dez Bryant says, go enjoy your day. Okay. Somebody said, oh, you scared of that. Ain't no way. See, I ain't scared of shit. I just don't like doing all the internet shit. I have respect for her and I'd rather keep it that way. She got it. Now he then fucked up. He put the diamond. Everybody know The Rock.
So it just seemed like Nicki just crashing out, man. Like really, and I feel Dez Bryant on that. What you gonna do with a female and sit there arguing, going back and forth with a woman and knowing that, you know, she's going off on a tangent and crashing out in the industry right now. And she's probably got deep down envy for the FBAs, man. Just call it what it is. She wouldn't have got her careers popping down where in her homeland where she came from. It just sounds like anybody who's associated with them, she's pulling a 50 right now. Like anybody that you're friends with, I'm coming at them too. And the way Nicki has been creating so many enemies in the industry like that, it's not really good. It's not healthy. It's not good look at all for her. It's not good look for her career. And you'll start to see her music and you'll start to see her career start to dwindle away, man. It's sort of like 50s because you create so many enemies, people don't want to work with you. So you kind of got to go into a different direction in a different industry. And the reason probably why 50 did so well with it, just because he started off with a documentary and because he has so many different other hustles and different relationships and partnerships and sponsorships, he's probably the only one that can get away with that. But since Nicki, I don't know if she's as big of a hustler as 50, but let's get a little bit into it, man. We're going to call it a wrap.
Okay. Nicki gets on his ass. She says, go beat your mom, then ask Desiree Perez and Jay-Z why they allegedly been the vile cunts they've been to so many black people while they line their pockets and weaponize racism in order to keep black people blinded from their truth. Why wasn't Desiree Perez pardoned by President Trump, publicized to the black people and hip-hop culture the way Lil Wayne was? Did she repay the president for that monumental blessing, or did she betray him the way Jay-Z allegedly betrayed the Democratic Party and countless others that he had business dealings with in the past? On second thought, just don't beat your mom. I'm sure she loved you once. This tweet is all alleged and all for entertainment purposes. Now, it shows Dallas Cowboy Dez Bryant was arrested after assaulting his mom. This is an old article. So, yeah, Nicki's on that. All right. Wow. Let me get back to where we were with that. Give me a second. And then I'll go. All right, here we go. All right, bet. So we're here. So then we get Dez Bryant, who responds to that. He says, how did I get caught up in the madness? I want people to love me the way they love Nicki. Real talk. Now, he responds to this by saying, wait, say bitch, I didn't go to jail or touch my mama. I was defending myself. I removed her nails from my skin. Folks know I was dealing with some corruption in Dallas. I don't get how you could even be on the internet with your husband being a sex offender. You said we are speaking facts.
Whoa, man. See, that's what I'm saying. And that's my point right there, yo. We're going to call it on a wrap on that, man. But y'all, that's what I'm saying. When people get too emotional, man, you start taking shots at people's family members and personal shots, and you go into a beef all because you're in your emotions. And that man had nothing to do with that. He was just associated by default, man. He's a part of, Roc Nation and all of that. Might be a football player. He's retired, but that's his prerogative. That's his business, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man, in the comments, man. Get back to me on, is Nicki crashing out? Is her career starting to plateau and go downhill? Let me know. Subscribe to the channel, man. I love you guys. Rico Savvy with the greatest and the latest. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.